Hey everybody, Solomon Knight here,
And it's your boy Cedric.
and Ming is on hiatus. Yeah, Ming is out busy trying to, well, he's trying to get busy with the ring and everything. So, Godspeed, Ming. Godspeed.
Yep.
Um, got any news you want to start off with?
Finals are over. Um, Hopefully I will have more time to devote into this channel, but we shall see how that goes.
Finals is over for you, but in the meantime, I'm in the middle of a crossroads where I'm gonna have to. So we're gonna have to figure when we do the show, how often we do it, and my other erratic upload schedule. Speaking of which, the strike is falling off, and also this isn't being live streamed. We're just recording it as is because I didn't have time to set things back up because Rumble is you have to create a new live stream every single time. Rumble is being a pain in the behind today, so we're just gonna record it and move on. That being said, now we got that out the way, let's get to our first article from Bounding in the Comics. Close to my heart, but once again, John Kent to be gifted new Pride themed cape in DC Pride 2022 story. I'm already on thin ice with YouTube because I got a
Yep.
hate speech strike for pointing out the Pride stuff. So let's shatter the ice. Why don't we? And I think I said, if you guys follow me on Twitter at SoloKnight66, you will know I go on and on about how I believe John Kent is being groomed because he is mentally 11. I forgot to bring up the comic that shows in the Superman and Robin comic series where John is sitting there and Lois keeps forgetting. Lois just says, "I keep forgetting you're still technically a kid."
Yeah.
And well, this is his quote unquote boyfriend, and look at the color of the hair, pink, right? Pink kryptonite dyeing his hair. Also, this kid is doing exactly what Manchester Black was doing. So you cannot tell me that he's not a groomer. That this dude right here is not a groomer. Anyway, let's get back into the article. DC Comics has more surprises in store for the son of Superman and Lois, who inherited the cape and identity of Earth's Man of Steel from his Kryptonian dad. And the next one is keeping with young Jonathan's fluid sexuality. Look what they're doing to our boy.
I don't understand. Why can't you know what? I know we say this a lot, but why can't they create their own?
Because they
Why do
know
they
their
have
own.
to come after ours?
They know their stuff will suck. They don't like our characters. They like the idea of our characters. It's just something that Young Ripper said this past week. That the reason why they have to go after or they have to create characters based off of our characters instead of creating their own is because they know their own stuff will fail. Only for them to get their message out, only for them to get their idea out, is to take one of our characters. Because before the Progressives cemented their role as the head of DC, do you know how you could describe John Kent? Young boy excited that his dad was literally Superman. Now, young boys usually think their dad is invincible and their dad is Superman. Well, they just took that concept to its logical conclusion. What if your dad was Superman?
Well, yeah, and how do you? Because there's no way he grew up or he had his powers as an infant.
Yeah, and so John was just slowly growing into his powers, and it was just interesting to see Superman say, "All right, how do I be a dad?" And it was just fun to just watch the interplay between Superman learning from his father, Jonathan Kent, and him teaching his own son, Jonathan Kent. Also, Lois was an excellent mother. And there was
That is very
just...
true.
It was actually this one thing that's just absolutely hilarious with Batman and Robin trying to figure out, all right, what's up, Superboy? His powers should be a lot farther along than they are right now. So while they were spying on the Kents, Superman and Superboy can actually hear them, and they invited him in for dinner. So you just see four people in costumes eating, and Lois is serving pie, and Batman's not eating, and just you see Superboy talking to Robin, hey, did your dad? How come your dad's not eating? And Robin just says, Batman doesn't eat pie. While Jonathan is busy feeding pie to the dog. Yeah, even Crypto got his own chance to shine. You don't get those wholesome stories anymore because they have to put an idea. And let's get back to the article. It says from tree stumped everyone. I did a short in the DC Pride special, which has a final order cutoff Sunday. I'm so jazzed to be working with Devin Grayson, Art and Nikki Robles, and Itib. I don't know how to pronounce that. Please pre-order if you can, which nobody is. Let's just be real here, no one will. I'm also wanting to work on a Superman comic, and I'm so happy it's this one. Notice, I wanted to work on a Superman comic. If Progressive wants to work on a Superman comic, they don't want the character of Superman. They just want the idea of Superman. The power, and they want the power to say whatever they want to say. Not the man behind it, not the fact that Clark Kent is a chill dude.
Yeah,
Clark,
and it's kind of sad, like personally, like it's really sad because like you don't even want to create your own. Like you don't want to even want your own superheroes. You cannot stand the idea of someone else having their own superheroes, and we say, okay, you know what, make your own superhero, but they can't even do that. Um, like we won't.
sorry.
The whole thing with LGBT and the whole issue that we have with the left in general is that they don't. It's that not only do they not allow us to live in our space, but they can't even make their own space. Instead of making their own, instead of having their own spaces and staying in their spaces, they have to come over to our spaces
Well,
and
also, they don't want to do the
try to
work to
make us.
establish their own space. In fact, Fourth Age had a video about this, where they just explained that these people are just lazy. They don't want to do the actual work that goes into building up a new character. Think about it. I already told you the entire concept behind Superboy, and then they wanted they wanted they wanted an alphabet Superman, so they just gave Clark the boot because Clark is they could possibly lose the rights to Clark Kent. But they gave Clark the boot, and they just brought in John, and they just said, he's an alphabet person now. Give him pronouns.
Yep. And it's just honestly it's kind of depressing because it's like you destroy because they're destroying the characters, and at that point it's like they're destroying the characters that everyone loves, and sooner or later they're gonna have nothing left to destroy.
Well, they're bleeding. They're bleeding. They're bleeding money right now to the point where I don't think these companies will survive any longer in the next couple of years or so. Especially while people like Young Ripper, people like the Fourth Age, people like your boy Zach from Comics Matters. While they're building their own companies, this is the time to build your own comic book company if you want to. While these people are building their own comic book company, they are stealing away people who actually will buy from Marvel and DC. And Marvel and DC are going to collapse because of it.
Well, the wonderful thing about them collapsing is that their parent companies are also collapsing. Warner Bros. Not so much. Disney, Disney's going down.
Yeah, they're going down. The mouse's ship is on fire. And at this point, I'm starting to think that the mouse may not be at. I think the mouse might just be being held hostage, as opposed to him just being being the psychopath that he usually is portrayed as. But
what will inevitably happen? Not I won't say happen, but what will inevitably come to pass is that we're gonna see the fall of Disney, and it's gonna be glorious. But and hopefully we don't end up with any government bailouts.
Well, at the
'Cause-
rate they're going, they've kind of isolated themselves from the government. Let's be real here.
yeah, they really can't.
Speaking of government and Young Grippa, he's actually featured in the article. Multi-talented YouTube commentator Eric D. July took time out of his schedule to talk about the cape and creative moves by DC Comics with the Son of Kal-El, especially why they did it. July reminds his viewers that the Son of Kal-El writer Tom Taylor was making media rounds when it was announced John Kent is a pronoun person and sees it as more of publicity seeking by DC. Part of it's about selling merchandise, July says, what they're really trying to do is use the symbolism of a beloved character and logo to legitimize the existence of gay versions of the same IP. I shouldn't have said that. We're getting flagged. Oh, well, I'll edit it out.
Oh my
Calls
gosh,
the
that is
writer
good.
calls the writer hacks who are incapable of writing and creating interesting characters that are more than just their bedroom preference or ethnic identity. Chuck Dixon concurred on an earlier chat that with July where Batman writer said Tim Drake isn't more interesting now. He's just a pronoun person. Yeah, that one hurts a lot because in high school I loved the Tim Drake books. He was my favorite character, and now they just said, yeah, you know what, we don't know what to do with him. Let's just give him a boyfriend and move on. Completely break up his long relationship with Spoiler and just give him a boyfriend. In fact, you know how they got rid of Spoiler and him? Off panel. Literally, just off panel.
Wow.
As in between books, it got to the point to where Batman asked, and like, yeah, we broke up. Like, wait, what? When? Like, you're just with this dude all of a sudden, and no explanation. Anyway, back to the article. July added that DC's writers have a stereotyped view of characters they play identity politics with. Thus, they had to be defined by their blackness or their lifestyle or gender, and reminded you of it on virtually every page. Pointing to Batgirl's trans roommate who wrapped a trans flag around the baseball bat she used as a weapon, July states, they don't know what they're doing. They just write uninteresting characters that appeal to these demographics. And when it fails, he continues, they're just blaming the customers for not being progressive enough. Does this look interesting? Do you want to pick up would you want to read a book like this?
I really wouldn't. Not if all the whole thing is about somebody discovering their sexuality.
Hey,
like, I'm right.
I just thought of a funny 4-panel comic thing. I'm probably going to get to an artist just involving this character, and they ask, why does she use a bat? She said, well, she said she would use a gun, but I'm afraid I might do something. 41%. Took you long enough.
Look, I'm not gonna say anything, but 21% is a high number.
41.
No, 41. Yeah, even worse. 41% is a high number.
And it's actually funny. There was one YouTuber named Riley. I can't remember his last. I can't remember Riley's last name. I'm not going to use any pronouns. But you can clearly tell Riley's biologically a male, and Riley tried to rationalize the suicide rate, and it just went from 41 to I think 36. Yeah. Didn't realize the fact that you're not helping. All you did was lower it to the lower part of the margin of error.
Yeah, no, it's still not. It is still not it's still not good. Like you shouldn't. Suicide rate shouldn't be above 5%, really.
Yeah. But let's get to the next article.
Yeah.
Because we spent long enough on John Kent. Anyway, from the New York Post, millennial men with 1950s housewives after they have kids. Now, when I first saw this article, I laughed and just thought it was feminists realizing the fact that it was wrong. But turns out, this article is much worse than that. Much worse than that. Anyway, the ambition of millennial women has long been lauded for their girl power childhoods to their PhDs. Women are now the backbone of the workforce. In 2018, 74% of men earn bachelor's degrees for every 100 women. Some 64% of women are now breadwinners, equal earners in their households. And no wonder, they've grown up being told that women are able to do and be anything. Until they become mothers. At that point, many of their partners expect them to turn into June Cleaver from Leave It to Beaver, Laura Belzion book. Ambitious Like a Mother explores how working mothers get tasked with a second shift, i.e. all the domestic and family work that occurs after paid work ends for the day. So,
well,
someone has to get it done, and quite honestly, women acknowledge the fact that when men do it, men are the first ones to do it, it kind of turns them off. It really just makes them unattracted to their man, so it's just one of those, they want their cake and eat it too, and my God, I cannot stand this woman. And the fact that they just acknowledge the fact that men don't want a second man in the house.
Exactly.
As just wanting a 1950s housewife. There is a fine line. Work on the balance and just acknowledge the fact that, yeah, men do not want a second-hand man in the house.
Exactly.
If they wanted a second-hand man, they just get roommates.
Get clean roommates. But like it's it's obvious when they write articles like these that they have no idea what the hell men want. Clearly,
Which
because
is weird because men are fairly simple creatures.
like seriously, give him a blowjob at the end of the day. That's exactly what the fuck. How
Well,
many?
that's actually at the top. That's actually at the not. Well, at the Maslow hierarchy of needs. That's more at the top. At the bottom, as long as we have our shelter, a job, a purpose in life, we're pretty much good. What you said earlier, that comes after you get a purpose in life. That's
Yeah,
more like icing on the cake, if anything.
that's fair enough.
So men are fairly simple to please. Just let us be done. And they already shown that earlier that, as I already showed in an article earlier in 2018, that this is that women are outperforming men. So it's feminism just realized the fact that men like realize the fact that men do not want second rate women. That if women are doing the exact same stuff as men, why would men want a woman around?
Yeah, and what's crazy is that when feminists say, oh, you can do everything a man can do, and in high heels, what they didn't account for is that the women starting to act and become like men, and men saying we don't want that.
Yeah, that be. But let's actually keep going a bit more in the article. In other words, putting longer hours in the office doesn't mean your husband necessarily is going to pick up the slack and wash out the baby bottles. Women are exhausted, and many of their partners just aren't helping. One Belzion book. No, I'm just gonna call it Jezebel. Let's be real. What mother in Jezebel's book explained enough that she out on her husband. She was still responsible for everything related to schoolwork, doctor's appointments, my child's EIP plan. My husband didn't make any effort to understand it. Professional working mothers who find themselves with partners who are unwilling to make that shift in perspective and allocate time and resources have a tough choice, writes Jezebel. Radically compromise who they are and whether they want to stay in a marriage or leave. Let's put it like this. Radically compromise who they are and what they want to stay in a marriage and what they want to stay in a marriage or leave. This shouldn't be an option. This is why marriage rates are in the dumpster right now.
This should not be an option.
Yeah,
Like,
the fact that you're putting like, all right, it's time to leave. What's the point of getting married? Let's like this. Men typically would stay with one woman. We want to. If we have a family, we're not going to break that apart. Most men aren't going to. I mean, they might have a side piece, but they're not going to try to break the family for a side piece. They'll try to choose the main wife. There's a reason why I choose the wife. I'm not saying the side piece is right. I'm definitely not saying that. I'm just saying that men do not want to break apart an actual marriage. They want their kids. They want their wife. Fairly simple creatures. Fairly simple what we want. In fact, Homer Simpson is a pretty good example of what men want. Well, before the zombie Simpsons happened, but Homer Simpson's been a pretty good example of what men want. A wife,
exactly.
family, a wife, house, kids, stable income. Sure, he may not like his job, but he at least has something to get him through his job.
Yeah, and it's fairly simple. And like as feminism um has gotten more prominent and stronger, and women have becoming more and more ambitious and career driven and all that. um we start to see people butt heads in the house a lot more.
Yeah, and speaking of butting heads
The
in the
divorce
house,
rate just skyrocketed.
speaking of
Marriage
that,
rates at an all-time
look
low.
at this. Plenty of women offer the latter. According to a 2015 study by the American Sociological Association, women initiate 69... Nice. No, not nice, not nice, not nice, not nice. They initiate 69% of divorces, and among college-educated women, it's 90%. Okay, you read that, right? Well, you heard that, right? Okay, everybody heard that. College-educated women initiate 90% of divorces. Now, let's go back to early in the article and just look at something. Women are now the backbone of the workforce. In 2018, 74% of men earn bachelor's degree for every 100 women. Some 64... Okay. Look at that. 74 men for every 100 women get a degree. As in, more women are getting degrees than men. Now, let's go back here. 90% of divorces are initiated by college-educated women. You wonder why men are trying to stay away from women. Why
You
would
really
you
do.
go to somebody who you have only a 1 in 10 chance of things working out?
Seriously, like, and you wonder why people aren't getting where marriage rate is so damn low. It's because men are natural risk averse creatures. We
Well,
know that
we'll take risk if the reward's well enough.
if
But
the world rolls well enough,
right now this risk is too high.
this risk is way too high, and so that's why we're seeing. Well, that's why we're seeing the break apart of the family, the marriage rates just jumping, divorce rates are at all time high.
Well, it's actually funny enough. Divorce rates are actually starting to fall just because nobody's getting married.
Well, yeah, the less people getting, the less people that get married, the better, apparently. Because right now, we have to solve the first problem we have to figure out is what genders even mean at this point.
Hey, careful! Cool it with it. We are here. Here we are. We are trans affirming here at 1776. Wave that
We
patriot
are.
flag of victory. But actually, this next paragraph is probably going to piss you off. Bregan Jane, whom Jezebel interviewed for the book, initially tried to tell herself that she was okay with traditional gender roles. However, she found that her contributions around the home were never fully valued. Her husband gave people the impression that she was his spoiled wife. She divorced him, started flipping homes, and became an HGTV host who helps rebuild homes for families in need. Her kids could not be more excited for her work. Another woman Jezebel spoke to spotted the problem early on when her fiance told her she would have to lower ambitions if they were going to have children. In other words, just this woman Jane, she broke apart her family and started a
Hmm.
TV show. That's kind of hard. Just think about it. This man thinks that, okay, look, I think I found something good. I think I could make it through life. And she's like, nah, not gonna do it. Screw you and screw everything.
Yep. And so, part of me says, good for her, but at the same time, she's also
Did
abandoned.
destroy her family.
It's not. Yeah, she did abandon her family.
Yeah.
So, um, you sold your soul to the devil, and what did you get? Not enough time with your kids. So,
And
um,
here goes the thing. In addition to, she broke off the engagement, but Belzion experienced this choice herself. In addition to Arthur, she's also a lawyer. Following the birth of her children, her own husband hoped that she would stop chasing after bigger and harder projects so that I could be more present. She felt certain that her children would understand her need for fulfilling work and would benefit by knowing that mom is out there making the world a better place. She had a great point. Studies show that children of working mothers are just as well adjusted, have no more behavioral problems. Oh my gosh. They're
no,
looking
no,
at
no.
the daycare generation. You mean to tell me that you want to see what the daycare generation looks like? Go to a pro-choice rally. Go to one of those pro-death marches. Just go.
Yep.
Just go and you'll see what it looks like. Go to a women's march. You'll see what the daycare generation looks like. Now, is everybody like it? No, but in the daycare, the loudest person gets the most attention. So I wouldn't exactly say that's well adjusted. That's coming from somebody who was a daycare kid. And here goes the last two paragraphs. Her husband, however, did not understand. The couple divorce, not an easy solution by any means, but working mothers who get divorced often report that they are happier. Maybe in the short term, but in the long term, no, it does not end well. In
Nope, it does not.
Belzion's case, she found that sharing custody of her children creates protected time pockets where I can be productive and focus on her work with few distractions, with the full knowledge that childcare duties are truly being divided equally. So, in other words, she sacrificed her full-time career she sacrificed entire motherhood to be a part-time mother. She's a part-time mom. Let's just be real here.
Yeah. And
And
that
this is what feminism brings.
yep, it is. It's exactly what It's what it brings.
And let's look
That's
at
what
this. Let's look at this in 2022. For families to thrive, husbands need to start supporting their wives' careers in the way wives have supported their husbands for generations. Women aren't going to go backwards. If men want relationships to last, they have to go forward into the 21st century. You know what? But guess who despises men? Guess who despises men who reject traditional gender roles the most? Women.
Yep.
So this is one of those things where, sure, you want to do this, fine, but you're gonna have to make a choice and quit trying to strawman us going back to the 50s. Someone's gonna have to give, and you quite honestly hate it when the man gives.
Yeah, and let's be real here. There's a reason why the bad boys trope has been around for decades. Women consistently want men who do not give in, do not give to what they say. It's been it's been seen over and over again. Like, you just look around and play the game. If and just talk to him and see what happens. You'll know. But onto our next article.
Yeah, because quite honestly, I should have got the Snoop Dogg ready, but you know what? Take it away, Miss. Wait, no, for the last one before we go, I just gotta say one thing.
Women's rights? Throw them in the trash.
Thanks, Napoleon. Now, Mr. Popo, take it away. I said, Mr. Popo, take it away.
Welcome to the room of infinite bullshit!
Alright. Well, we have Snoop Dogg running gas stations now, because where I'm at, take a guess the price of gas. It reminds you of Undead Chronic in the War Band.
Woo! Yeah.
Guess the number.
High. It is.
Yeah, and diesel fuel stockpiles lowest on record as prices soar, rotating ration now possible. In other words, price controls. We're going to run out of gas here. By the way, this is from Timcast, published by Michael Robinson from the byline. I wouldn't be surprised to see diesel being rationed on the East Coast this summer, said one industry expert this week. God damn it. I just realized I need to go to the East Coast. God damn it. Well, this is not for long, but I'm definitely going to get out of there. By the way, diesel fuel hits a record high at the pump on Thursday as U.S. stockpile for the essential fuel reaches its lowest on record in many areas. According to data from AAA, national average of diesel fuel in the U.S. surpassed 5.56 a gallon on Thursday, highest record ever recorded. Why is a caliber the price of gas?
Wow. What?
The price of gas is not as much as it's the same number as a caliber for an AR.
That's way too high.
And you know this, and nobody actually wants to see the trickle down effects, for lack of a better term. If gas is going to be this high, well, you got to compensate the truckers more, which means all the costs are going to increase because you're going to have to pay the truckers more. So food's going to increase, electricity's going to increase, everything's going to increase because the Brandon administration just won't let us do our own gas. Let us get our own diesel.
Yep, and it's not going well.
Because right now, diesel is considered the lifeblood of the global economy and is vital for multiple sectors of production, including construction, mining, and agriculture. You know what? We're already facing food shortages as is. So this is one of those things where, no, we're going to go into it face first. So, I mean, we can stop this, but, I don't think I can say that on YouTube.
Well, there's only one way to stop this. And
we can't say it on YouTube.
Yeah, we really can't say it on YouTube.
Hell, I would say alt tech is kind of iffy if we can say it or not.
Yeah, well, it'll come to pass where
it'll become even more obvious. Be a failing day. Which I think it's getting closer because I went to a gun show this past weekend, and you know things are bad when black people are starting to say, "Man, Joe Biden." Yeah, when black people are saying, Black people are saying "Let's go, Brandon," and they are joining white people at gun shows. You know things are kind of bad.
Look, there's one thing black people know how to do, it's survive.
Well, I was going to say, there's one thing black people do is stick by Democrats no matter what. If things are getting so bad to where black people are abandoning the Democrats, you know things are bad. Think about it. For some reason, up until now, black people would constantly re-elect Democrats and then complain about the police that the Democrats should protect. For instance, not many times Derek Chauvin has been reported for bad behavior.
A lot.
More times each count. And guess what? I think it was Amy Klobuchar, one of the representatives from Minneapolis, was the age. I think she was the attorney general. Either way, she was in charge. She was the one who could have fired him or not, and she chose never to fire him. And she almost got into the presidency. None of the black people would have voted for her, and then the same thing would have happened with George Floyd. So this is the kind of people we're talking about. If they're starting to abandon the Democrats, you know things are bad. You know things are bad.
Things are getting hairy.
Yeah.
And what's just also, it's looking like Derek Chauvin might get some time reduced. He might not end up with life. He might end up.
That was third degree.
He'll probably get a rude. Well, okay. So,
I'd say that's. The reason I say it's third degree is because, while technically yes, George Floyd did OD, but for someone who's supposed to protect and serve, kneeling on his neck while a man's ODing is not a good look.
Oh no! See, this is actually an incident where the Democrats shot themselves in the foot. See, I don't know if anyone you remember what happened with Maxine Waters.
Calling for insurrection.
Oh yeah, no, calling for insurrection and basically telling them that they had to produce a guilty verdict.
So domestic terrorism.
Essentially domestic terrorism. So, the appeals court, or I guess Chauvin's legal team filed an appeal in appeals court. And what Maxine Waters did is quite literally grounds enough to set Chauvin free.
Well, the Democrats are nothing but emotion. If they could actually think, I'll take that back. They aren't just emotion because what they're doing right now, back to the article, is completely logical. It's completely logical at the point it's being done so thoroughly that you gotta say, all right, this is deliberate destruction.
Yeah,
this is explicit destruction. So but let's get back to the article. More alarming that the East Coast inventories had declined to 21.3 million barrels of diesel fuel. Excuse me. This number represents roughly 2 weeks' worth of fuel supply. Local Transportation Authority, according to the EIA, which is the lowest supply reserve since the day it was first recorded in 1990. In a statement on Wednesday, John Castamades, the CEO of United Refining Co., said, "I wouldn't be surprised to see diesel being rationed on the East Coast this summer. Right now, inventories are low. We may see a shortage in coming months." Jeez, total U.S. operating refining capacity fell 4.5% between 2020 to 2021, 17.7 million barrels per day. This week, the Biden administration canceled some of the most high-profile oil and gas lease opportunities pending before the U.S. Department of Interior, ending the potential to drill for oil on millions of acres. Due to lack of industry interest in leasing the area, the department will not move forward with the proposed Cook Outlet OCS oil and gas lease sale of 258. A DOI spokesperson told Fox Business on Thursday. DOI also noted that multiple oil and gas leases in the Gulf of Mexico would also be ended. Jesus Christ!
What?
Jesus Christ!
No.
Jesus Christ, have mercy on us. They are deliberately destroying this. No wonder why black people and white people are starting to say, you know what, I think we may have more in common than we thought.
Yeah, this is, well, hold on. They are, what? They're going to crash, like this, they're crashing the economy. It's not they are going to, they are crashing the economy.
I know. This is a deliberate, look, there's a fine line between you not seeing the car coming, but this is like you deliberately turning into the mountain that the road doesn't go for. You give an ample warning, and you just crash going full speed ahead.
Like, yes, like, and I know why they're doing, like, it's pretty obvious. Well, what they're saying they're doing it for is for climate change and to save save the world.
So basically, because of the Swedish child said,
"How dare you!"
Yes. Well, and the thing is, there were better ways to go about this. You could have done all of this, but done preparatory to make it not hurt the economy as bad as this will, to make it much better, organized, and to give people an out, and so that way you have an economy that will thrive throughout the change of electric cars to gas.
Well, no, that's the thing. They purposely wanted to destroy it. Well, all this that they're doing, this is purpose destruction. So, at this point, when we start yelling that they're destroying everything, this is what they're going to say.
Yep. And,
goddamn right.
They're literally destroying everything. What can you do?
Yeah, let's get to the last article. Because this Monday, we are recording this on May 15, 2022, and on May 16, 2022, the Supreme Court is supposed to issue a ruling on the Dobbs case on whether Roe v. Wade will be overturned. So in preparation for that, Cedric and I have gotten our rifles ready because the feminists are going to riot, and we're going to be like Kyle. Excuse me, defending ourselves, to be clear.
Yes.
But also, that being said, 26 states, potentially tomorrow, 26 states will ban fetus deletus when Supreme Court overturns Roe tomorrow. More than half the country will protect unborn babies by banning all or more fetus deletus when Roe v. Wade is overturned, expected next month. Well, this was published on the 13th at 11:41 a.m., but I remember late in the day they said, yeah, it's coming out this fast. It's coming out Monday because the leak was not supposed to be here. I've already been in there enough. We'll get to it later. That estimate comes from the Guttmacher Institute, a pro-fetus elitist organization previously affiliated with Planned Parenthood, the nation's biggest elitist company. According to the analysis, 26 states are certain or likely to ban deletus if the SCOTUS rids of Roe. With Justice Samuel Alito authoring a draft opinion overturning Roe that was recently leaked, focus will turn to protecting babies from deletus in as many states as possible. The good news is that half the country will legally protect the unborn fairly quickly, with some states starting that protection on day one. Yeah. The states that have trigger laws are Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, Georgia, Idaho, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisiana, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. Looks like the South is rising again. And you know what? And actually, one state that used to be on this, funny enough, was actually Illinois. But in the past, let's put it like this. The past 10 years, the progressives had decided to see how far left can we turn this state. We're not getting into what what's her name said. We're not getting into what Lori Lightfoot said. That time has passed. But they want to see just how far they can do it. And it's gotten to the point to where I was actually talking to somebody who works with, from somebody who works at Illinois Right to Life over the fact that, there was somebody as an intern saying that, who is quote-unquote pro-choice, and they're saying, the whole deletus has gotten out of control in Illinois. So even people who are quote-unquote pro-choice are just horrified by how out of control this pro-death cult wants the company, wants Illinois.
Yeah, that is scary. And the fact that not only are they that pro, but they are also trying to push it on other states and really promote it.
Yeah, but the states I just named were 21 that already have laws that would trigger as soon as Roe is gone. And the South is rising again with some honorary states like Wisconsin and North Dakota. They were honorary southern states. Now we just need is Florida, and we got the band back together. You know, it's funny how we're black guys just praising the South. Well, at least the South is trying to make sure Black Lives Matter. Go figure. The South is the one trying to make sure black people live. What are the odds? Just think about that. Also, this is in the next paragraph. Additionally, Guttmacher predicts that 5 more states would move quickly. 5 more states to get to the 26 to protect the unborn babies from deleted if Roe is overturned. Florida, Indiana, Montana, Nebraska, and Wyoming have passed a number of pro-life laws in the recent years and are likely to take action as soon as possible to protect the unborn by passing deleted bans, according to the analysis.
Yeah, don't worry about Florida. Florida's been
Florida's
been going at it.
Florida man has been on it. God bless Governor DeSantis. He is right now. Governor DeSantis making sure Florida man goes through his redemption arc. Florida man is just killing it right now.
He really is. Florida man is getting at it.
Now, if they can get constitutional carry, Florida, if they get constitutional carry and Abbott gets his act together, imagine a United States with Austin and, what was it? Jackson? No, not Jackson. What's the capital of Florida? I can't think of the capital of Florida. Yeah, can you do me a favor and look up the capital of Florida real quick?
It's not my Tallahassee.
I was about to say, I thought Tallahassee was a tourist destination. By the way, but imagine United States where the axis of, well, a power axis flows through. I need to be careful how I phrase this. Where a power axis flows through Austin and Tallahassee.
Oh my gosh.
Like I said, I had to be careful how I phrase that one. Altogether, these actions result in hundreds of thousands of unborn babies being spared from death every year. Recently, a group of 154 economists and researchers estimate that the latest numbers would drop by 100,000 in the first year, potentially even more in subsequent years. The High Court overturns Roe and allows states to ban it again. So, other analysis have predicted anywhere from 8 to 31 states would end deleted if SCOTUS overturns Roe. In 2018, the pro-deleted group Narwhal predicted 13 states would immediately ban it. A previous estimate by the Center for Reproductive Rights puts the number at 31 states. Let's shoot for 50. Well, let's play like this. I'm gonna just wrap up my whole thing. I like to break things down to war mindset. Let's repeal Roe Repealing Roe won't solve everything. It'll just be the first step in a long step.
Yep.
Because once we repeal Roe, you know what we got to do after that? Go state by state, county by county. Ban it from If we ban it from the county level, then it bans all at the state. That means we can ban it at the federal level, and nobody will bat an eye because, well, it's already a state law, already a local law on every other level. Might as well make it a state one. So
yep.
Yeah. When they say we're trying to ban deletus, I say yes. Or better yet, I think I don't have the Beto O'Rourke thing, and they put it. Hell yes, we are. Hell yes, we are coming for your abortions.
Yeah. And watch them try and do something about this.
Well, you know what? I'm not afraid of them. You know why? I'm not afraid of anybody who's trying to fight for the right to kill a baby. If you're trying to fight for the right to kill a baby, then yeah, you need to hurry goodbye. Because, quite honestly, you are of the devil, you are worshiping Baal, you need to hurry goodbye if you want to take out a baby.
I think that is a very fitting end to our show today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not calling for violence, but I am saying that you should protect the defenseless. That's what I am saying. You are called to, the weak are called to protect the strong are called to protect the weak. And there's nothing weaker than
those are virtuous ideas. I don't think these heathens would love that.
Well, you know what? If the light kills them, let it be so. All right. That being said, I'm Solomon Knight.
And it's been your boy Cedric.